Good afternoon, everyone. It's your girl V with Reality Recap. I'm here for my first midday tea session. I hope you guys enjoy. If you are able to stop in during your lunch break and chat with me on last night's episode of Real Housewives of New Jersey, please come in. If you're not able to watch right now, this will be up on my Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. So if you like this content and more from my page, please be sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Reality Recap. All my links are in my bio. And yes, right now we are live. You can comment across any of the platforms that we're streaming on: YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. I can see your comments, read them, and respond. So again, today we are here for last night's episode of Real Housewives of New Jersey, which was a pretty good episode if I do say so myself. We are at the season finale this next Sunday. So first of all, let me apologize because I posted a sneak peek of last night's episode yesterday, and I don't know what day I thought it was, but I thought that the the season finale of Housewives of New Jersey was last night, but no, it was just the episode before the season finale, and we're gonna go through that. I'm going to take out my little trusty book. I got myself a new book from Dollar General just to be able to kind of jot my thoughts when watching these episodes, because I really want to start doing more of these midday episodes for you guys and just giving my thoughts instead of waiting to my Thursday podcast, but kind of giving you my initial thoughts on all of the episodes. So today we're doing Real Housewives of New Jersey. Tomorrow I'll be back at 12:30 or somewhere around the midday, depending on my schedule, to talk about Basketball Wives. So again, I hope you guys come and join me on your lunch sessions or your lunch times with me. This is what I like to call lunchtime tea sesh, right? So Real Housewives of New Jersey last night. Let's talk about Margaret. Margaret came out swinging last night, okay? Like, she had some comments. She made a comment about Teresa's lawyer, who we know has been her lawyer throughout the last couple of seasons. You know, Teresa's lawyer was there when she went through the whole tax fraud case and when she went to jail, all of that. And Margaret had this to say. She said that Teresa's lawyer office is in Atlantic City next to a meth clinic, and that her lawyer's office is on Madison Avenue. So she was really trying to discredit Teresa's lawyer. But I don't know, if you live in New Jersey, you know. Like, when I see him, I see a lawyer that can get things done. Like, I don't know, he look like he know the right people to get the right things done. I guess I ain't gonna say you gotta be from Jersey to understand, but when I look at Teresa's lawyer, I be like, alright, he gonna get what needs to be done, I guess. But she had that to say. Margaret went to lunch with Jen Fessler. The mess is what I call her. But Margaret went to lunch with Jen Fessler, and Jen Fessler let her know that Teresa would be holding basically like a meeting gathering to discuss Louis' case, and that her lawyer would be present to talk about how Margaret came up in Louis' court case that was coming to an end. Louis' court case was with one of his ex-girlfriends where there was a restraining order put on him, and apparently Margaret came up in this court case. So with that said, Jen Fessler let Margaret know that Teresa would be holding this, I guess, press conference, lunch, brunch, lawyer, tea sesh, her damn self. And Margaret was hot, y'all. Margaret sat at that table and she started calling everybody one by one. Like, she called Dolores, she called Danielle. She was basically saying, if you're my friend, why would you go sit down and be at a dinner or anything, lunch, whatever it is, where there's going to be a lawyer present just to talk about me? If you're my friend, why would you go? So I have that question for you guys. Like, do you feel like no one should have went to Teresa's lunch? I mean, Danielle was pretty honest and just saying, like, I'm here to get the tea. Like, she's saying this is going to be something big. I want to go. I want to know. I want to hear what it is that she has to say, because this is supposed to be like jaw dropping. All of us was wait. I'm pretty sure I was on the edge of my seat trying to understand what it was that Teresa had to say about Margaret. But just wondering what you guys think. Do you feel like Margaret shouldn't have went? I mean, not Margaret. That no one should have went to Teresa's dinner, as Margaret said. Jen Fessler ended up not going, which that's her really close friend. So I guess that was noble of her not to go. But for Dolores, for Jen, Jackie, and Jackie is kind of beefing with Margaret right now. I didn't see an issue with them going, and I didn't expect them not to go, I guess. But yeah, so Fessler let her know that she was upset, and it was like she didn't want to trust anybody. Margaret didn't want to trust anybody that was going to this lunch. But the girls was going, okay? They had made their mind up. They wanted to hear Teresa's side, and they were going. So everyone was going except for, of course, Melissa wouldn't be there. And Jen Fessler text saying that she wasn't going to go. Also last night, there was dueling guys night. Had a dueling guys night with Joe Gorger, where he had Margaret's husband, Frank Catania. They were all at his house, John Fuda. And then you saw a guys night with Louis, with Dolores's man, Paulie, and with Jen's husband. Dr. Aiden was there with him. So in the midst of that, John Fuda had an allergic reaction to some of the food. It was supposed to be a really serious allergic reaction, and Joe Gorger had me cracking up. Like, they're in the bathroom trying to make sure that John is okay. They're looking at him. Excuse me. And Joe Gorger goes in there to use the bathroom while they're in there with him. Like, he's so unserious. He was not taking it seriously at all. But that was just a little bit of comedy within the episode where John Fuda had his allergic reaction, which he was okay from. But I also was looking like, Melissa was like, should we call Rachel? Like, yeah, if my husband is having some type of allergic reaction that could be like detrimental to him, y'all saying his breathing, his airways, because, he can stop breathing. Yeah, you better call me. But they did not let Rachel know. I guess she probably would have freaked out. But yeah, John Fuda had his allergic reaction, and he got over it, and they continued their guys' night. What was interesting last night for me about guys' night was Joe Gorga was talking to the husbands and saying, like, he thought Frank was going to go to the other guys' night with Louis, and he was saying, scumbags hang out with scumbags, and he says something like, that guys' night, they're more like a cult. They have, they're a cult. And then they flash over to Louis' guys' night, where he had Paulie and Dr. A, where he had them on a microphone, like, saying things to their wives, like a recording. And he was saying to Teresa, oh, I love you so much. Like, they were going to record this and give this to the wives. It was the weirdest thing I have ever seen. And Dr. Aiden was not taking it seriously at all. He was up there singing like, oh, Jen, I love you. But it was just the weirdest guys' night ever, where he was on the mic just like, oh, Teresa, I love you so much. You're my everything, like my moon and my stars. It was just the weirdest thing. It reminded me of if Joe Fuda would have said, yeah, this is like a cult situation. And then it'd be like 5 minutes later. And then we see them over there. It was just the weirdest thing ever. I was really cracking up this entire episode. Cut to the highlight of last night, Teresa's whole like dinner, lunch. I keep saying dinner, but it was like a lunch because it was still daytime, where we were on the edge of our seats to hear what it is that Margaret had done. And her lawyer, he kind of came in and set up, and I don't know, it felt rehearsed, but he came in and set up the whole thing about how Margaret came up in the lawsuit, that there's someone out there trying to hurt Louis, and this has been going on even before Louis met Teresa, talking about Louis' ex-girlfriend. And apparently there's a gag order where he can't even say her name, mention her name. So it was like the lawyer was there to really represent. So all of this commercial break, suspense, and just for Teresa to come back and tell us that, oh, well, it looks like in the lawsuit, Margaret had been reaching out or speaking to Louis' ex-girlfriend. And it was just like, womp, womp, womp. I was really disappointed. We already knew that, right? Margaret had already let us know that. It was just very disappointing. Nothing good. I was not impressed at all. And in the midst of her breaking news, the doorbell rings, right? Okay? Doorbell rings. Teresa goes to the door, and this is what is at Teresa's door. It's like a funeral flower arrangement, and it has a note on it, and it says, "Dear Teresa and James, sorry for the loss of your dignity. Love, 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 Marge." She sent a flower arrangement because she knew she was going to be having this dinner, y'all. I fell out. Now that's, ladies and gentlemen, is how you clock in for a housewife show. And that's what I said last night. It was high drama. It was funny. It was shady. Teresa, she was like, well, she knows I have information on her, so she's spiraling. But it really felt like Teresa was the one that was spiraling. I have to say, in this whole situation, I feel like I'm standing at a crossroads of Teresa and her lawyer and trying to, like, is this stuff true? Does it really matter? And also at a, like, crossroads of Margaret. And because Margaret at that table, when she was calling and telling the other ladies not to come, it was like a villain in a movie. So both of them, in my opinion, at this point have done wrong. You know, you reached out to his ex-wife. Teresa has been accused of reaching out to bloggers and putting stories out. At this point, it's just called a spade at this point in the game. But they both have done each other wrong. And again, I don't believe there's no other housewives out there that have done anything like that. That's just not realistic. Everyone gets a blogger involved or talks to blogs or leaks information. So I don't find that to be the issue at this point, although Daddy Andy seems to be upset about it. But yeah, it was a doozy as far as the information. Margaret, she killed the game with sending that flower arrangement. I also thought Bravo did a good job last night with Watch What Happens Live. Melissa seemed very comfortable on Watch What Happens Live, even talking about the possible cash shakeup. She was saying, you know, no one knows their fate at this point. They're just trying to figure it out and, you know, go through the process. She also talked about the finale and how she said it was sad to see parts of the finale. If we think that we've heard it all said to each other, like to them in that group, we ain't heard the half of it, that the finale was going to be really, really good. So I'm looking forward to that next week. But it was definitely a good episode last night. Like I said, I enjoyed it. Margaret killed the game. I had to come on here and just talk about her sending this flower arrangement. It was the shadiest. It's probably, this note will most definitely make it to BravoCon. No question about it. I definitely think it would be on display, if not the whole flower arrangement at BravoCon. So it was a good episode. If you haven't seen it yet, go see it. Like I said, Watch What Happens Live afterwards was really good. Melissa, you know, they asked Melissa about Jen Aiden and her making, you know, shading envy or making the comments about the cheating rumors with her having all-female models at her fashion show. And she was just saying, it just shows how phony Jen Aiden is. She keeps coming to the table, sitting, saying how she apologizes, how she wants to start anew, and then she reverts back to her old ways, which I agree with. At this point, we will have to wait and see what happens with the finale. I cannot wait. Along with the finale, there was a twist to a reunion tape where they were broken up into two groups and watched the finale. So we'll see their reactions to the finale after we watch it as well. We know there's an explosive ending to come. So again, I just wanted to come on here, many little short lunchtime sessions I will be doing. I'll be back tomorrow to do a session on Basketball Wives. Then I'll be back Wednesday for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, which is back on. So again, if you can't watch during my live on the midday sessions, make sure that you follow me on Instagram, Facebook. They'll be posted there. Go to my YouTube channel, please. Like, share, and subscribe. Donate to the kids. We're always trying to make it better over here. Better equipment, better lighting. Cash App information is there. And also, if you need any promos, I'm here to do that as well. So hit me up, an email, DM for your promos, and my price list is listed there. So I'll be back tomorrow doing Basketball Wives LA. I'll give you a sneak peek of the episode in just a few hours. Everyone, I hope you enjoyed my first midday lunch tea sesh about Real Housewives of New Jersey, and I will be back tomorrow. Peace.